Hello and welcome back to the Honor Wrestling and to another edition of AEW Dynamite Out of 10, the first episode of Dynamite in 2026. Hangman Page and Swerve Strickland promised unrestricted destruction when they collided with Hook and Powerhouse Hobbs in a lights out match, and we got a lot of other stuff as well. Starting off the show with John Moxley versus Shelton Benjamin in a Continental Championship Eliminator. Mox up ahead of Benjamin rather than showing respect with a handshake as things started. He paid for it quick as the Gold Standard and Death Rider got physical quickly. They fought into the crowd and the referee Paul Turner tried to appeal to the wrestlers to return to the ring, almost forced to count them out. Out of the commercial, Benjamin pushed the pace with a butterfly suplex, but Mox kept firing back. Even Benjamin's own version of Suplex City was not able to stop. So pay dirt from Benjamin nearly sealed the win, impressing MVP on commentary. The Death Rider again belly kicked out the super kick, ran into the Paradigm Shift for the wildest near fall. With less than 5 seconds left of the time limit, Mox turned in a triangle choke for a surprise free. A physical battle between two top veterans. While it's not a win for Benjamin, he looked good here. Mox has continued to sell that he is walking into these matches banged up and his opponent's not making it easy on him. However, it was clear the Gold Standard had a lead for most of this match, but Mox's toughness got the victory. It's hard to get much better than this in terms of eating in action, and Mox continues to have an unreal run. While the match is great, the aftermath of Frustrated MVP may have bigger implications for AEW than the contest itself, with Bobby Lashley out of injury and Hurt Syndicate needs to go back to recruiting. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. 8 out of 10. We then got the Demand versus Jungle Jack and the Young Bucks, and after attack on the newest member of the Continental family, Jake Doyle on jet speeds before the show started, Jungle Jack came out alone looking constant, and when the Young Bucks showed up, and yeah, in a wild athletic spectacle, the Demand slowly lost control of the action over time, worn over by the unreal athleticism of the Elite back together. Perry managed to kick out the springboard 450 by Ricochet. The Young Boys Bucks saved Jack from a pin after a vertigo as well, and modified BTE trigger to Ricochet with Perry adding a third knee sealed the victory. Afterwards, Jacob Davis launched an attack on the Elite. The injured Jet Speed tried to even the odds, but lights went out and Andrade returned once again to join with the Don Callis family, standing tall over there. Ricochet tried his best to escape Perry, but for the second time in tag action, Jack Perry pinned him. This should lead to a big rematch between these two for the gold. The action was fast and hard hitting throughout, with the obvious stars shined. Leona and Khan always look like they belong. The post match tried to do too much, but it also sets up an exciting match or two coming up. It's good to see El Idolo back after everything that happened. With the Don Callis family even bigger now, the stable may need to let some people go. But yeah, it's good to have Andrade back, isn't it? 8 out of 10. Moving on then to Willow Nightingale, who celebrated her championship victory, taking centre stage with Chris Statlander and Hardy Cameron behind her. She then welcomed Mercedes Moné, who came out in the morning gear. A fight broke out where the CEO was sent face first into the cake, then powerbombed onto by Willow. A fun segment for what it was, though mostly it just served to fuel the CEO's descent into the madness, then focused on the women in the ring. It would have been nice to hear from the world champion in all of this, and it's surprised that Triangle Magnus only appeared in a post segment afterwards. Hopefully Thekla can challenge the world champion, and tension between that feud will intensify the candidates rather than leaving her and Stat in the background. Before we moved on to Sammy Guevara versus Bandido, Guevara had Bandido's number during the early stretch, catching him time again. He split water into the eyes of Bandido to stop an early rally. He caught him later in the ring with a perspex springboard cutter, but he could not keep the champ down. After flipping out the 21-plex into a GTH for a near fall, Bandido fought through into another 21-plex for the win. MJF immediately interrupted the celebration, heading out with John Cruz to translate him into Spanish, only for Bandido to make it clear he speaks English. MJF took back his Dynamite Dining Room, but only got himself and Cruz knocked out with 21 plexes. While Guevara has been doing the work in ROH for a while, this was easily the best work he's done in AEW for at least a year. They played perfectly, and their offense made him look like a real threat to Bandido. As good as this match was, though, I think the underwhelming self-rounded after Bandido last week, this was a perfect segment to really build it up. It's clear that the Salt of the Earth wants this Dynamite Diamond Ring back, which means it probably won't just be one match, and the stage is set next week. And yeah, it's going to be a great match, even though the result is probably clear. 8 out of 10. We then got Timeless Tony versus Marina Shafir. Shafir dominated the action in this match with Storm using her pure striking grappling advantages to wear out the former women's world champ. However, the Timeless one caught her headbutt into a big package, and Wheeler had to pull out the ref to stop the 3 count, causing a DQ. Afterwards, Shafir knocked out Storm and Mina with kicks before Roderick and Orange Cassidy arrived. As the Death Riders retreated, Claudia Castagnoli charged out but was held back by Garcia. It was an important match based on the feud that's built between these two women so far, but it certainly wasn't pretty. The problem is still figuring out as a singles competitor, especially in long competition, and it showed. They lacked the usual rhythm and flow of the Storm match. The DQ finish is not a usual result for AEW and felt somewhat unnecessary. It's clear that Shafir had lost and she got her heat back afterwards. Shafir needed to win more, but Storm will never be an easy out for anyone. The problem is not ready to defeat the former world champion. It's unlikely these two will find their full chemistry in the ring, but the story's still engaging. A no DQ rematch would probably work better for all involved, but in this case I'm going to have to give it a 4 out of 10. It was then time for the lights out main event, and Hook avoided Page as much as he could, lifting Hobbs down with the Cowboy while he tried to take down Swerve. While the Cowboy got his hands on the Handsome Devil, the Mogul threw him staple guns to repeatedly staple Hook. Hobbs took many more staples until Hangman had to catch him with one between the legs. Swerve and Hangman brought out a stack of cinder blocks, but the Powerhouse took out the Mogul on them with the world's strongest slam. This left the Cowboy to take down and build down from the Ops Dojo team of Hobbs and Hook. Prince Nana made a crucial save by splashing hot coffee in Powerhouse's face. Hangman and Swerve turned the tide and took out Hobbs with a Deadeye Swerve Stomp on the cinder bricks, followed by a house call. Swerve Stomp hanging by a chain to Hook for the submission win. A silly wild action for her home stretch of Dynamite, running over in 20 minutes for maximum violent retribution for the faces. It was far from high-flying technical great matches earlier in the night, but it stood out for its violence. No one was going for the classic, just delivering the story remains the Cowboy and the Mogul rallying together to make their enemies pay. While both won the World Championship, all signs point to a tag team goals with these two. If they can find a third, they would be perfect to dethrone the Ops as trios champions as well. So yeah, we'll have to see where it goes, but this gets a 6 out of 10 from me. Overall, Dynamite this week gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Yeah, I thought this was a really, really good show, to be honest. I mean, lots of great matches on here throughout. Some interesting storyline developments as well. And of course, we've got a lot to look forward to next week with MJF v Dido coming up. So yeah, on the whole, just a really, really good show and gets a 7 out of 10 from me. That's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow us on our socials. Link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.